Hello, we are live early tonight.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Being plugged in. All right, good to go.
Happy Monday. Welcome to Monday Munch,
Making
where
sure.
we come live every Monday to you guys and get together and chat about important topics that mean a lot to us.
And we're live. Okay, good.
And this week's topic is emotional, our favorite, communication.
Sweet, sweet. I did just get notified that I can earn my bonuses now for performance on my stuff. So
Congratulations.
that's
Hell
cool.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Congratulations.
Make sure that I have to do my original content, and then like it does my payments or whatever. You gotta make at least $25 to be paid out. So you fuckers start liking and sharing my stuff. Okay. Excuse me. Don't smoke, kids. Anyway, so this week is Monday Munch. Looking at reformatting in the future. Don't know how it's working out yet, but as of right now, we're all here doing our thing like we always do.
We're an hour early this week.
Yeah, trying to just do a little bit earlier.
It's because Monday Munch has been really taking a toll on me,
Oh, there's
opening up in the morning and such.
Yeah.
oh,
I appreciate you guys being here a little bit early. Very, very much.
Twinkle now.
Hi, friends. Hello.
Thanks, Lav.
awesome. What was I about? I was about to say something else. I can't remember what the fuck it was now. Anyway, I'm Mister the ringleader of this shit show for now. I'm sure I'll be overthrown at some point in the mutiny. But either way, I am here for now. And yeah, so Monday Munch is what we do every week. We talk about everything from relationships to kink. Speaking of kink, I do want to start at least having like one episode a month where we talk about kind of a specific fetish. I think that would be a little more fun.
Oh my God, yes. Yes. That makes my soul so happy.
Oh, yeah, so, yes, right?
Just a suggestion, maybe the first one we do of this could be like all of us revealing our biggest kink.
I'm down. If everybody else is comfortable with that, I'm down.
Sure. Or whichever big one we feel like comfortable with sharing.
Right. Holding hands is definitely on the top of my list.
I think I'd have to admit praise kink, but that's kind of already obvious. So
So we'll have to have some fun with that one then. I don't know, I think might be nice to readjust that list of all that I have created already, because it's, we know me, I'm a little chaotic. It's my list. I can change it if I want to, and probably will. So
I mean, I discovered a new kink of mine.
yeah,
New ones are fun.
I discovered that I actually like CNC play.
okay.
Like
That's one we'll definitely cover.
I didn't think I would like it, but
So
I think I will thoroughly enjoy that because I think that my pretty top of the list kink would be to hear all of your kinks and the pleasure that you guys get from them and why they make them, or why it is what it is.
Why are boobs good?
Jen, are you saying that your top kink is communication?
I mean, yeah, pretty much.
So the general idea of this episode is the communication, obviously, but it's about deeper communication and some of those strategies we can use to really understand each other a little bit better. Mostly in relationships, but it also goes along with friendships and stuff like that. So all the relationship styles, really. Hi, Tony. I haven't seen Tony forever. Tony, we gotta get you back on the show. Like, we gotta get you back up here. So
Thanks for rolling in, Tony.
always a pleasure for sure.
The other day.
I was too. Like, I was thinking. As a matter of fact, what made me think about, I was thinking about Mosey's name, and I'm pretty sure Tony came up with Opus. So that's where Mosey's middle name came from, was Mosey Opus.
Okay.
So yeah. But the emotional intimacy it's not so much more the physical aspects of stuff. When people think of intimacy, they think of physical, kissing, holding hands, being together in some kind of physical aspect. But in the stronger relationships, it's definitely deeper than that. The emotional intimacy is probably more of a core bond than anything else. Because as we know, with asexual people, that physical relationship doesn't necessarily have to be there. So that's one aspect that you can look at. Somebody is feeding back. I can hear myself in the background. Is it you?
Nope.
No, it's not you.
No volume coming from my end.
Let's test this. Oh, it was Nat. Boom. I think might have been Ray. Was it Ray? I think it was Ray. It happens though. Not even a major deal. Let's see. I might need to turn your mic down just a little bit.
Well, wouldn't you say feedback's important in emotional communication?
Well, in emotional communication and intimacy, absolutely, but on live streams, not so much. Yeah, let's hit that first topic of emotional intimacy. Like I said, the heart of relationships. So, who can give me like a decent definition of emotional intimacy?
Google.
Besides Google.
Man, no, Google will have you thinking that you're dying like yesterday.
Well, I just want like Webster.
Let's go for it.
So, with most types of intimacy, it's going to depend on the people in the relationship. But generally speaking, emotional intimacy is having a comfortable or safe space to share like your thoughts, your feelings, your interests with each other.
To me, emotional intimacy, it's very similar to what Alice said, but it's having that trust with somebody to be able to be open with your innermost self and them to be open with their innermost self on whatever level applies to that relationship.
100%.
I agree with what y'all both said. To me, emotional intimacy is not even words. Like, you can just look at your person and like speak with your eyes. Like, it's like emotional intimacy is it's, to me, it's more like a bond that you have with that certain person. Like, for me, my person happens to be my best friend. And me and him just have a language that no one else understands, and we don't even have to use words. We just look at each other and know exactly what we're thinking, what we're going to say. For me, that's probably the most emotional I will ever get with someone. And he will be the only person I will ever get emotional like that with. Because I'm not really an emotional person. I don't really like to show emotion towards, people in general, but like lovers and, stuff like that. Like, I'm not very an emotional person. Hell, I don't even like to cuddle afterwards.
All right.
So, can I read the Google definition?
Read me the Google definition.
So, emotional intimacy is an aspect of interpersonal relationships that varies in intensity from one relationship to another and varies from one time to another. Much like physical intimacy, emotional intimacy involves perception of closeness to another, sharing a personal feeling, and personal validation. I read all the words properly.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
You did it. You did the thing.
But I'd like to emphasize where it varies. That's something that we didn't cover yet, is how it can change from time to time, just as ourselves as humans change from time to time. Absolutely. And it can change with different people.
Oh yeah, and I think every relationship has its own unique level of intimacy. Not just romantic relationships, but I think, as far as friendships go, you have a deeper level of trust and intimacy there than you normally would. Sorry, I'm over goofing off.
Hand me that can, mister.
I was going to use it for a thing.
Yeah, it tipped over once. It'll tip over again.
Oh, yeah, well, and I'll just keep trying. Sorry, I'm trying to throw myself live up on the TikTok for a
Trying to do too
second.
many things at once.
There's no such thing for the ADHD.
It's true, unfortunately.
My brain may slow down on some words sometimes, but for the most part, I can just rock and roll through this. Let's do learn. There we go. Okay.
Most of the time, I've got 12 tabs open.
I want to know how many tabs I have open. Hold on, I'm curious now. 1, 2, 3,
I love you,
4,
Matt.
5, 6.
I know
7,
for a fact I have
8,
56 of them open on my phone because I keep telling myself you have too many. Close them.
Eventually, I just close.
I was referring to the tabs in my brain, but whatever.
22, 23, 26, 7, 8, 9, 31.
Stay.
Okay.
Are we back yet, you guys?
Okay. See, that's what squirrel brains do right there.
I have 31 tabs open on my phone right now, including this one.
And it's so great because I'll have 50 tabs open, and I'm like, I'll need these someday, and then I'm just like, why do I have so many tabs open? Click close, and then 20 minutes later, I'm like, oh yeah, I need to look up this, and I already had a tab open for it, but whatever. So I think one of the key words for everything here, as far as what everybody's defined, is definitely trust and vulnerability. I think level of vulnerableness comes into play.
Your intentions are quite very important.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. What am I doing?
If you don't intend on having and wanting that seriously good relationship with someone, and you just want it to be a one-night stand, that's perfectly acceptable. But your emotional intimacy and communication is going to be a whole lot different than with someone you want to have in your life forever, potentially.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that right there was a perfect example of poor communication tactics, as we were all playing with our phones and trying to do other things. And that's, to me, that's a really important one too, is making sure you put your device down sometimes. I know technology is a big part of what we all do, and it could be a part of your communication, especially if you have long distance relationships. But those face-to-face relationships, the devices can get in the way sometimes, especially in your more important conversations. Go ahead, Alice.
Some of us go nonverbal sometimes, so the devices help when we're nonverbal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that part, because I really a lot of the shit that I have to say with my mouth, I can say with my thumbs. And I tell people the same thing. I'm like, if you can text it, do that.
I
That's
think
valid.
it really depends. It's all about fucking words.
Finding the words.
It's all about finding what works for you and for the person that you're trying to communicate with.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
It really just depends on how you feel about that certain individual and how you communicate with them.
So something that helps with communication and understanding each other in this sense is paraphrasing or recondensing what your person has said to you in a conversation to clarify that you understand and you're on the same page, you're reading from the same book type of deal. I think that's really important to keep in mind when growing these bonds.
To that point, something I'll say pretty regularly is like I'll rephrase it or paraphrase it, and then at the end I'll go, "Do I understand you right, or do I have that right?" And give them the chance to either affirm that yes, I am understanding right, or to correct me.
Mm-hmm.
When doing that, tone is important too, though. Like saying like, "Am I understanding you correctly?" is a lot different than saying, "Am I understanding you?"
Yeah.
Yeah. How you deliver a message is important. Like how you I guess depending on the situation, again, it's about tone and delivery that you're trying to get your point across to that person.
Projection, how you're projecting yourself.
I mean, if the situation comes to protecting yourself, then yeah. But I mean, if it's just a normal like,
No, not protecting. Projecting.
I was like protecting. I was like, I mean, if you're trying to protect yourself, then I mean, yeah. But like, oh my God, yeah. A lot of people project so much. I've noticed that in this past week. A lot of people have projected a lot of their insecurities or a lot of their worries and their fears onto me, and it's like, I just breathe and shit, leave me alone. Like, that has nothing to do with me. Like, sometimes I wish, even obviously this munch is about intimacy with your partner or lover or friend or whoever, but in general, I think in general people should communicate a lot more, because it would really prevent a lot of other shit from happening if people would have just talked, would have just sent a text, sent a fucking like anything, like just send anything, like even a thumbs up from the little thumbs up button on fucking Facebook. Like, I mean,
Wait, I gotta disagree with you on that one though. The thumbs up button's like the fuck you button.
I have ours changed to a heart, and it pops if I make it big.
Well, that's different. With the thumbs up,
yeah, no, like
a text message of go fuck yourself.
I mean, yeah, it's the same way if someone replies back with K, like just the letter K. Oh, that shit pisses me off so bad. Oh my God, I cannot.
So I think we're all at an agreement and an understanding that your tone really matters when having these important conversations. But it is okay to have these conversations over text message where it's a little bit more difficult to project your tone.
No, it's
but
not.
You have to make sure that your partner is in an understanding of the place you're coming from. Emojis help. Go ahead.
I just wanted to jump in because we had someone go, "It's not okay," kind of loudly. The medium that you have these conversations over is entirely up to the two people. That's just it. That's the whole thing I had to say.
Absolutely. I mean, it could be over fucking handwritten letters back and forth.
Another thing about writing and having it in something, I guess, writing, having it other than in your words, even recording to each other, because that's a thing too. We do our voice chats and send them. That's something that we can look back on and kind of like study. Some of our brains work differently and need that to be able to process feelings, emotions.
I have a question. Are you talking about like going over your own recordings or going over someone else's recordings?
Like recorded messages between each other, text messages between each other.
Oh, okay. Because I was fixing to say I do that too. Like especially when like if someone sends me like a voice message that's not that's naughty, I guess. Yeah, I definitely go through it to like feel the emotion in their words and shit like that. That's a thing for me.
Yeah.
Communication would have ruined the end of Romeo and Juliet.
The communication would have fixed the end of Romeo and Juliet.
Right. I mean, I'm saying, like, not the tragedy. It would have been like, oh, okay, you're not really dead. All right.
In my defense, I've never read Romeo and Juliet.
You're not missing much.
Would you like the ending summarized for you?
Yes, please.
You have two teenage children fall in love, but the families are feuding and won't let them be together. So they have like a couple of violent fights happen where some family members die. The families go to war and the children kill themselves because they can't be together.
That's really fucked up.
It is.
Right. I think Juliet, she drinks poison or pretends to drink poison or something, and then he thinks she's really dead and
stabs himself or some shit, or maybe it's the other way around.
That's crazy as fuck. Damn, I would never kill myself over no dick. There are 7 billion people on the earth. I will find another one.
I think Alice has got the ending here, or knows the ending. You know what's a masterpiece, though, for Romeo and Juliet? The movie. The Leonardo DiCaprio movie.
Oh.
So Juliet has taken this like sleeping draught that a friar gave her to like pretend to be dead. She's down in a tomb. Romeo has some poison that he brought with him because he thinks she's dead and is planning suicide. And she wakes up after he's drank his poison to find him dead. He takes her dagger. She stabs herself with it.
Fucking brutal.
Now, all she would have needed was a note in like her little pocket that says, "I'm not really dead. Wait for me to wake up."
Right, for real. That would have fixed everything.
And like
Romeo.
to be clear, Romeo was 16, Juliet was 13. Neither of these children should have been around weapons or relationships like this.
And the whole thing takes place over like what, a week or something like that.
It's like 5 days, yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god, babe, it's our first date anniversary. Damn.
I love as we've progressed a little bit in society, we see how dumb the concept of Romeo and Juliet is.
Oh, it was dumb then too. Like, it was written to like satirize the way that noble families arranged marriages.
Right. I still say.
So, do you have any tips that maybe Romeo and Juliet could have used for their communication skills?
You know what, though? Not for those two, but open-ended questions are really good for like when you're having a deep conversation.
So, like, what about tips for Bonnie and Clyde?
Oh, no, they were an absolute love story. What you got, Alice?
For the questions that might have helped, or tips that might have helped Romeo and Juliet, if you're upset about something, wait at least a small period of time before making a big decision.
Yeah.
Pretty good undertone there.
That's solid.
But Bonnie and Clyde were an absolute love story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll give them that. They have a better love story than Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, yeah. They went out with a bang, literally.
So the open-ended questions thing is important because I think there's just 2 types of questions, open and closed. I could be wrong. It could be a little more nuanced than that, but your closed questions, your closed-ended questions are the things that be answered with yes or no or a single word, something like that. Your open-ended kind of push on to a better conversation. What did you do today? How was your day?
Okay, because I was confused at what an open-ended question was.
So basically, a difference between small talk and not small talk.
Yes and no. Go ahead, Alex.
I want to chime in that there are actually 8 types of questions.
Oh, there really? See, I was so close.
So you've got your closed questions, which are like your like yes, no, or that did happen, or like it was this thing, but not much to expand on. Then your open-ended questions, where you can get a conversation out of them. The other types are probing questions, where you're trying to gather information about a specific topic. Leading questions, where you're trying to lead someone to a particular conclusion by asking questions. Loaded questions, where you're operating on an assumption based on the other person's behavior. Funnel questions, which are questions that kind of try to rail the conversation in a certain direction. Recall and process questions, which are just what happened next, what happened next, what happened next, right?
You're literally describing what detectives do.
Yes, detectives ask a lot of questions.
Yeah, I don't like questions.
And then the last kind is rhetorical questions, which we like to call the asshole questions.
Yeah, the smart ass questions. If you're gonna ask a stupid question, you're gonna get a stupid answer.
But those open-ended questions still seem to be the most productive as far as the conversation goes. Good.
They can lead to the most like organic conversation, but they also tend to be very non-specific in interest. So like if I went, how was your day today, when I know Lav was going like to a specific festival, then it'd be like, oh, it was good at the festival. And I was like, if I know what the festival was, like, hey Lav, how was your time at the Mum Festival? Did you see any flowers you like? And you can ask probing questions to show a more specific interest instead of just kind of general interest.
Right. And I really tend to like that when you say probing questions, it sounds like you're kind of digging, like it sounds like such a negative connotation, but when you explain it, it actually makes sense.
It's actually like if you are able to ask like a probing question, that means you've been paying attention to something to be able to do that.
Yeah,
you had to have grasped some sort of detail from their life. Okay.
So how about like talking about feelings? How do y'all feel about that? And Lav says they love the Month Festival.
Okay. I talked about feelings yesterday with someone, and it was actually very relieving. It was it was a much needed deep conversation between me and that person that needed to happen. And I actually felt more relieved about having that conversation. And I felt so much better because like the thing is that I had been avoiding that certain person from having that conversation, and I just really don't know why I was so scared to have the conversation to begin with.
The word for that relief, if anyone cares, is catharsis. Things like conversations like that are very cathartic, and it's anytime there's like important things that need to be talked about that are causing that anxiety, it's almost always better to actually talk about them.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot of feelings and emotion yesterday, last night, but it was needed. It was so much needed. Like how I felt, everything that was in my head for like the longest time was able to come out of my mouth, and it felt so good.
Good.
So I mean, I'm not really one to like show feelings, emotion, expression, none of that. But talking about especially something that's on your mind, something that's giving you anxiety, something that has you worried, you know, all these feelings and emotions that you're holding in is not, it's not good to hold them in. You should talk about them. Hell, even if it's somebody on the street, anybody that is willing to listen.
Fair. I'm kind of the opposite way. Like, if I don't talk about how I feel about things, I feel like I'm going to like explode or like fidget myself apart. I jokingly call that with my partners the curse of never shutting the fuck up.
Oops, I've got a Facebook user. Hi, friends. Hello.
Hi.
You have to tell us who you are if you feel like it, because like
Friends with a
Facebook
blue
user
heart that says HAI. Oh, I'm gonna say it's a blue friend.
Is it a blue friend? I hope it's our blue friend.
Is it a blue clowning around friend?
I need to message our blue friend about some things. If it's not them. Let's see.
If it's not, that's a lot of coincidence.
So,
one.
When you're having these more intense conversations, not necessarily negative conversations, but just like those deeply intense conversations, I statements is always better than you putting the blame on somebody. You know, saying that you made me do this, you're making me feel. You know, it could be, I feel this way, or I think this. You know, that's a key to keeping the lines of communication open. I think it was Ray a couple weeks ago said that, you know, if you accuse somebody of something, then you don't want to have open communication anyway.
It's valid.
Valid, yeah. That's a good take.
I like this one. Is don't hold back for the sake of keeping the peace. Now, it doesn't mean like be a complete raging asshole about something, but you know, if you're having an open conversation with somebody, you should be open. You know, honesty breeds intimacy.
You cannot have a genuine peace if you lie about how you feel to get to it.
Yeah.
100%.
I remember, you know, when I lived in Texas, and I literally would not say what was on my mind because I wanted to keep the peace, because if I said what was on my mind, it was an argument every single time. And now I'm learning how to open up, even if it's not to everyone, and it's to certain people that I trust. I'm still learning. Like, I still hold shit in until I fucking explode. I'm working on it. I mean, for years I dealt with that in Texas, and now I don't have to. So now I have to like relearn how to actually communicate with people now. You know? Like, I think that's probably like the biggest struggle for me, is just communication in general. Like, not even like intimacy or emotional or physical, just literally talking is my biggest fucking like speed bump.
I feel that. I can relate, baby.
So it's a little bit of a paradox, but it's more important to listen than it is to speak.
Yeah. I'm really good at listening. I'm really good at listening to people. I just don't like, sometimes like some of the things that some people tell me, it's like, so like I don't know how to process it, because I was never I never was exposed, I guess, in a way, to certain situations, because for years I was not exposed to certain situations like that. I was only exposed to one kind of situation. If I say how I feel, I'm crazy, and it'll start an argument. And that's literally how my brain was trained for years. So now that I'm not in that situation anymore, I still try to use those same patterns that I did in Texas. And I've realized here recently that it's not okay to do that. Like, I can't just keep running and not like give anyone, or not anyone, but the specific person an explanation on why I just keep avoiding them, Like, communication is definitely like one of the top things that, myself included, but everyone should like really practice. Like, I get better at it. I go out in public now when I don't have to. Like, I'll go people just for the fuck of it. And if someone says hi to me, I say hi back. It's not like, I just like completely avoid them. I mean, if they give me a weird vibe, then yeah, I completely avoid them.
Just realized, sorry, two things.
Just thought of
Not to
myself
interrupt you.
in the other aisle.
Blue, I sent you a message if you want to hop up on the phone and speak to us. I'd love for that. And I just realized that my name has not been my name the whole time.
Oh, I thought you knew that.
Oh, are you Juniper Jen
I
today?
was Juniper Jen today.
Yeah, because Juniper Jen's been working like double time today. So, yeah. I got everybody's vloggers fixed today. I got to send them out. Blue, send me that address. I'm so excited. It's been a very productive day. I'm sorry, sidetrack. Squirrel.
So, like I said, that listening is, you were about to challenge that, Alice.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Where you got, Alice?
When you're establishing how to talk with a specific person, how to have that communication, it is just as important that you listen to them when talking about things like boundaries as it is that you assert your own. Right? Those are equally important, not one greater than the other.
Right. So the only thing I mean is like the only thing that I feel like it's like a paradox, though, because you want to be actively listening to that person more than you like butt in and try to interject and stuff like that. Whereas they need to be actively listening to you while you have the conversation. So they balance each other out, like you said.
So if you put two, like, not all autistic people, obviously, but generally speaking, if you put two autistic people together, rather than having this give and take where they listen and they don't jump in, they'll jump in over each other and like stack idea on top of idea on top of idea while they're talking.
Okay.
Kind of like what we're doing right now in Munch.
Kind of like what we do at Munch, always.
Makes you wonder about all of us here.
We need to change the name. Oh, sugar.
Oh, man. But when it comes to that active listening, y'all touched on it a little bit earlier, like paraphrasing what your partner said, just to show that you're actively in the conversation. Reflect the feelings. If they're upset about something, understand and be able to, don't reflect the negative energy, so to speak, but reflect that you understand and feel that they are upset about something. You don't want to hear them yelling at you, be upset about something, then you turn around and spend that energy straight back to them. It's just going to escalate things as you go. Any other good active listening tips?
How about we avoid judging each other?
That's fun. I like judging people.
And not shame.
Yeah, no shame, just judgment.
No judgment and shaming each other when we're trying to communicate, like, because that can freeze the communication, really.
Fair. Internally judge.
I mean, if you're going to sit there and judge somebody while you're trying to have an important conversation with them, I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I'm a hothead and I got a smart ass mouth. You ain't fixing to fuck with me like that.
Well, you're going to say what's on your mind in a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to continue to be the voice of dissent here. Offer judgment where it's valid, right? If someone's doing something shitty, tell them this is a shitty way to treat me. It's not okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Don't like make yourself nice just to give them space if they're not giving you space, right?
Right. Because this bubble is only big enough for me. It is not big enough for nobody else.
See, my problem when it comes to listening is I want to be a problem solver.
Oh,
And-
I have
and
a
then,
suggestion.
I'll go for it.
I am also a problem solver, and the good thing to say in that situation where like you have someone talking to you about a problem is, are you looking for advice or do you just want to be heard?
Right. I've started to use that one.
Okay, so I have certain people that will come to me and they will tell me their problems, and but before they tell me their problems, I'm like, do not ask me for advice, because it's I mean, I have really great advice. It's not that. It's just the fact that I will literally take whatever you say, if you're, pouring your heart out and stuff, because I'm not really good with sad people. I don't really know how to do sad. But I'm really blunt about my advice. I don't beat around the bush. I'm like, well, maybe if you do this, I'm like, well, you need to do this, and then you won't have this fucking problem no more. Especially if because I have a couple of people that have a repetitive thing and they keep coming to me for it, and I'm like, well, if you would do this wouldn't happen to you. It's like, I've been telling you this over and over. I feel like, pulling teeth from a bull would be easier than talking to you and trying to give you advice. Really, I just tell people now, if you're going to tell me something, I'm just going to listen, because if I put my 2 cents in, you're not going to listen to me anyways, and you're still going to end up back in the same situation. So why should I care if you're not going to care about yourself?
So a lot of the time when you run into that, it's someone who doesn't necessarily realize they're in the same cycle or doesn't think they can get out of that cycle. My way to preempt that, because I get incredibly frustrated at that too. My way to preempt that is the second time they tell me the same thing, I'll just look at them and go, how the fuck am I supposed to give you new advice on the same information? Stop it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. It's like, I already gave you advice, so it's like, you either take it or you shut the fuck up. Quit complaining if you're not going to take the advice.
See, I see it differently. I see where sometimes somebody needs to hear the same thing over and over again before it clicks.
Yeah, no, I think I just give off a lot of tough love, because that's what was given to me. And I know, and I do realize that some people are not built for that tough love, because you have to have a backbone to talk to me. You have to have a backbone, because if you don't, and I don't mean to, but I've had people tell me that I've come off rude as fuck, and I'm like, I'm just shy. I'm sorry. I'm not really like that. I'm really a nice person.
My advice generally tends to be, oh, this person isn't respecting your boundaries. Get the fuck rid of them. Get them out of there.
That's a good place to start for sure.
That fucking part with everything Alice just said, that part. Hey, you're not wearing the green dress.
This time, I think this might be the same dress I was wearing the other time I wasn't wearing the green one. I promise I have more than 2 outfits.
So now, Alice, you're a little bit more of a experienced in this aspect. How do you maintain intimacy in relationships with distance? Actual long distance, not 30 minutes down the road kind of thing.
So our favorite word, the first thing you need to do is communicate. What do you want to do with that person? What does that person want to do with you? What are you looking for in that space? I have 3 partners that would technically be long distance. One of them's only 3 hours away, another's 12 hours away, and then one's in France. And
at least 20 minutes away.
It's at least 20 minutes away. And like a lot of the time what we'll do is I'll be like, okay, what do you want us to do? Like I make time to spend with these people regularly, and we decide together what to do during that time.
Mhm.
And a lot of the time it's sit there and like watch a show and then just shoot the shit and talk about what's happening in our lives. Or sometimes it's play video games and rant about whoever's annoying us that day. And it's just you talk to the person, you say, this is what I want, what do you want? And then you do that thing together.
Okay.
Which is like just general relationship advice too.
Right. I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab something to drink.
Where are you going?
I'm thirsty.
What can I get for you? Is that all you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got you.
You're the best. Thank you.
It's just coming back.
So now I know like relationships that are long distance. I feel like they can be a little more stressful. I mean, unless you've communicated enough and all that stuff. But I feel like there's sometimes could be added stress. Go ahead.
I have yet to see a long distance relationship that wasn't more stressful than a good like local relationship. There's a lot of like intimacy needs that can't really be met over distance. Like for example, I'm a very touchy person. I like to hold hands or hug or cuddle with the people that I'm close to. And I can't really do that if the people are on the other side of Ohio or New Jersey or France. You know?
Right. I could feel that. So now how do you manage that stress then?
You find alternatives. Like I have for the partner in France this little necklace that has my heartbeat recorded, and I'm sending them that, and gonna walk them through recording their heartbeat for a similar necklace that I have, so that we have a necklace that has a digital recording of each other's heartbeat that we can carry with us.
That's really sweet.
Yeah.
Do you have the
Technology.
wristband by chance? I think we talked about that one day.
A little tappy.
I don't have the wristband right now because I talked to the partner in France a while back, and they don't wear bracelets. But I
Yeah.
have been talking to my other partner in New Jersey, and he would be down to wear the bracelet and try to annoy the shit out of me all day, which would be great for me.
I mean, it would really give you that physical contact at the same time.
Yeah.
In a different form, but still, you know, the intent behind it is the important part.
So there's a lot of other fun, intimate ways.
Yeah.
Like
Damn
toys.
it,
I'm talking about toys.
last time we said this, I had Lovin's Calor on my desk, and I could just be like this one, and I put away. Fuck.
Shucks. But yeah, there's long distance chastity that you guys can partake in.
I'm good on that one.
There's
Same.
internal, external toys that you can operate by your phone and
Mm-hmm.
match up the pulse to like your favorite rock song or
I have a pair of nipple clamps that can pair up to my
Ooh.
phone and then be controlled by someone else's phone.
Mhm.
And it's also Lovin's that they clip onto either one, and they can control them individually or put both at the same levels.
oh my.
Interesting.
So it's a great time.
Those, but
You don't like nipple clamps?
no,
They
I
also vibrate.
you can look, but you cannot touch.
Lab for long distance like chastity, I'd be fine like holding the person's key.
Yeah.
But they have to be someone who wants to do chastity. Like I wouldn't be like, you can't have sex. Lock yourself up and give me the key.
Oh no.
But like if they wanted to do chastity, then I'd absolutely hold the key, and that's something I've done before.
Oh no. See, I couldn't even like bring myself to do that, even if I was asked. Like, I'm good. Like, you're gonna
This
have needs.
kind of brings us to how important the education of your kinky desires can mean in our emotional communication and growth journey together. Like, you have no idea what we're talking about, chastity.
Fuck,
all of that. you look it up together, you listen, you learn, you grow together, and you ask each other questions, you figure out the questions, you go down the rabbit holes together. That's just one of the really added bonuses to it.
I'm not gonna lie, I totally forgot what we were talking about until Jen said chastity.
It's another example of like a long distance kinky thing. I got 4 words for you. App controlled shock collar.
Oh,
That's a
no
thing.
way. They have those?
Mm-hmm.
I want one.
Be good for your pets when you're on vacation and have a home camera.
I am a pet, bitch. It's me, the pet.
So a little segue there, since you were talking about learning about your kinks and
That's
desires
cute.
and all that stuff.
That's so cute.
That's actually next week's episode is Kink
Oh.
101. So that'll be fun. Get hopefully some people to learn the.
I'm sorry, what did you say, mister? I was
basics
just
of all those
repeating. I was just repeating what Nat said, like over and over. My head was.
No, I was just saying next week is Kink
What's next
101.
week? Oh, cool.
So just
Oh.
that.
You know what?
I think that'll be a fun time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hopefully by then I'll have
I
at
don't
least
want it
my
to be
interview done.
Boring though.
Oh,
I
it
mean,
won't be.
because it really.
No, there's nothing boring about kink unless being bored is your kink, I guess. I don't know. It's
We call that understimulation.
understand.
Can you, is there a kink for like wanting to make money? Because
I guess it's not.
Findom.
Oh, that's right. We're
Yeah.
going to talk about how, like, our specific kinks. That's right. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
I didn't mean to say that. Wacky tobacky and earring making over here. I'm a little fucking off topic. Not really, but
Oh, I think they like my personal kink munch would be cool.
I think that's what we're doing.
Oh, yeah,
next
we're gonna
week.
touch on that next week a
We're
little
gonna
bit.
talk. So I know we all could probably talk for like an hour or 2 hours about ours individually, but I think we're gonna dip our toes and like spend just a minute, and then first, of course, we have to do the important basics of consent,
communication, and boundaries.
I think that's why.
Safety.
Safety.
Oh shoot.
Awareness.
Absolutely.
Consent.
Consent, safety, boundaries, limits, communication,
Yeah.
and everything else should be covered by those 5.
In the safer kink. Yes. That part.
Gravity.
Gravity. Getting a little bit of laws of physics. All right, I'm down.
I mean,
So if you do something that does wrong your partner, we kind of jumped a little bit over this, and I just happened to see this note I had. You apologize, apologize with sincerity. We all know folks that apologize just because they're breathing and they say, "I'm sorry" all the time.
I've got a quip for this that comes from my therapist.
All right, let's hear it.
An apology without changed behavior is manipulation.
Yeah,
So,
that
like
part.
if you're going to apologize for something that you did that was wrong and not change your behavior, you're not sorry you did it.
You're sorry that you got caught.
Exactly.
There's a difference.
oh, excuse me. What if it is an accident?
Then your changed behavior, not doing it again.
Yeah.
Well, I can't help if like you stubbed your toe in front of me. You stubbed your toe in front of me. I'm so sorry.
Hi, Becca.
Why would you be apologizing because someone stubbed their toe in front of you?
I mean, because you know that pain, though. Because I understand that.
Like,
Still your problem, not mine.
and I'm sorry that you're having that anguish and pain.
Okay, all right. So you're saying
I'm
sorry as
sympathizing.
sympathy.
Sorry.
You're saying sorry as sympathy as opposed to contrition or like taking accountability.
Like basically what Alice is saying is like, for instance, Bill and Sally are in a relationship and Sally catches Bill fucking with Jan and he says sorry, but then Sally catches Bill with Jan again and then he says sorry again, that's not being apologetic. That's being sorry you got caught because you're still doing it.
Right.
That's what she's saying. So don't be like fucking Bill, okay?
Nat, just real quick. That's what they're saying.
That's who's saying. Oh, fuck. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm
It's
so
all right.
sorry.
It's all right. It's on screen down here, so it's easier to remember.
Oh, okay.
That's what who's saying. I love it.
I'm sorry.
See, that's a
That's all
sincere
right.
apology. See, look how that works. Good example.
Exactly.
So after you have an apology or a situation that needs a genuine, sincere apology, that's a good time to set clear expectations moving forward of what changes need to happen for the relationship to be maintained or for the relationship to advance or anything like that. Not so deep as cheating and stuff like that, but if you're on a first date and you try to make a move and they're not ready for that or something, that's a good time to establish, I'm not that kind of person. I'll usually wait until X amount of time or whatever. Or
Ideally, that should be communicated ahead of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like okay, with my different, like, I wouldn't say like love interests. They're more like maintenance sticks and stuff for me. But like,
did you say dicks or sticks?
Maintenance sticks.
Maintenance.
Yeah, they're maintenance sticks. I have a few in a couple of cities or whatever. But anyways, when I first met them, I was like, look, dude, like, you're applying for a job as a maintenance stick. So when I come to town and I holler, you jump. And I tell them this, meeting them, because obviously we're meeting for a certain situation, a certain reason. So these are things that are going to be talked about.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, I fuck on the first date because I'm trying to interview you, okay? If you pass, you're maintenance stick material, okay? You got hired.
I also tend to fuck on the first date.
I talk with them about, about all of this, with each and every single one of them.
I also tend to fuck on the first date. I don't know about maintenance genitals. For me, I'm just a whore.
Yeah.
So that's good to schedule your quality time. As far as your maintenance sticks go, your maintenance genitals in general, or your relationships, make sure that you've got quality time scheduled.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Like my, like, okay, like I have maintenance sticks, but then I have like dicks that are like that I'm more closer with, I guess. I thought I was the only one. No, girl, we all got maintenance sticks, okay? Or whatever your pronouns are. I'm so sorry. Fuck. Anyways, like my closer ones, I actually give them like somewhat of a girlfriend experience. Like those ones, when I schedule times with them, most of the time it's like for 3 or more hours, so that me and that person can really sit there and talk and do our thing. But like for like those guys, I give them a full body massage. I massage everything. I massage their head, their neck, their shoulders, their arms, their hands, their torso, their chests, their rib cage, their back, top, middle, and lower. I even massage their ass, their thighs, the calf muscles, and the feet. I give them a full body massage because, I want to show how much I appreciate them, for literally jumping when I holler. Like I want to show you how much you mean to my vagina. So I'm going to show my appreciation through my hands, okay?
Let my hands tell you how much the cat appreciates you.
Yeah, the hands will, because I promise you, you'll be asleep in 5 minutes. I'll still be massaging your ass too. You'll wake up a whole new person, feel like $1 million.
Goodness. So with that scheduling thing, I know Alice, you have a pretty rigorous schedule for your partners, right? It's
Not a schedule for them, a schedule for me, and like there's a time in that schedule for each of them each week.
Okay.
Like I don't try to like schedule their lives. It's just at this time I'm hanging out with the boyfriend, or at this time I'm hanging out with the girlfriend or the fiance or the other future wife.
Right. Okay. I think it's important, though. I mean, it shows that those partners, whether you have 1 or 20, that those people are important enough to have a spot in your life in some capacity.
Damn, Alice, you getting more pussy than I am.
I have 4 partners.
That's bomb.
Was 5 until about a month ago.
Oh.
I don't really call that getting pussy because these are all like deep emotional connections with people. So.
Oh, but I mean, still.
And like, to be clear, 3 of them are long distance. So like,
So
you're getting emotional pussy.
I really have a question.
Yeah, sure. What's your question?
So like with the long distance relationships that you have, or the connections, like how does that work for y'all? Like how did like how does the intimacy part of that work?
So it's different for each person because they're all unique people and not like the same person in different bodies, right? The one that's in France will, like, I have a date with Saturday morning 1-on-1, and then Lav and I have a date with on Sunday afternoons. And like outside of that, we'll shoot each other messages or tag each other in memes. And like very, very regularly, like when we give ourselves attention in bed, we'll like take selfies and send them to each other. I've got the one in New Jersey is a little more distant than the one in France. So like we have our regular time, but there's not a whole lot of talking in between unless there's something big or something we're really excited about, and then we'll just send each other a message and be like, guess what? And then the other one that's on the other side of Ohio is like anytime there's something even remotely nerdy we want to talk about, we either message each other directly or they hop onto my Discord and start putting it in the info dumping channel.
Okay.
And like we'll like coordinate. That one specifically gets like intermittent dates because they're not available every week at a consistent time because like they got a kid they got to deal with. But we'll do like planned out dates well in advance. Like next month, or we'll be going up to the other side of Ohio twice to visit this person. Wants to go see Rocky Horror Picture Show Shadow Play, and wants to go see the FNAF movie when it comes out.
What's that?
FNAF, Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, I've never heard it, the acronym like that. I was like, what the fuck's FNAF?
And well, like those have been tentatively planned since like July, which was the last time we saw them. And outside of that, it's just, hey, I took some nudes I really like. You want to see them? Or like dropping memes or info dumping about the latest thing we're fixating on.
Okay. I mean, I was really curious. Like, okay, so my other question is, because I know you mentioned something about going to Ohio. So, do you ever plan to like, or have you ever met like the other two?
So I have a plan to go to New Jersey in November, and I'm going to spend a weekend with that one.
Okay.
The biggest problem with that is that I have never driven even close to that far in my life, so I've been like doing long drives to practice driving for a long distance, so I can make that trip with some confidence, right? Mm-hmm. And then the other one that's in France, it's a hell of a lot harder to get to France. So
Yeah.
like I've been saving up money. I've been like doing the paperwork to get things in order. And for a week or two next May, depending on how PTO shakes out at that time, I'm going to be flying to France to visit this person. And like we have some date ideas planned, but most realistically, this person and I are probably going to be fucking enough to make up for lost time. And then
Yes, that's the best date.
And then in September of next year, they'll be coming here to visit and staying with us for as long as their PTO will allow.
But it's France. They have like 6 months.
They don't have 6 months. They got like 2.
That's awesome, though. Either way, whether it's 2 days or 2 months, it would be nice to have.
Yeah. And like the one that's in France, we're coming up on our 3rd year anniversary in November. So it'll be when I go over to France in May, it'll be the first time since we started dating, which was almost 3 years ago today, that I'll be able to actually physically touch them.
Oh my God. Oh, all that built up. Oh God, I love that.
So I have to ask, have we had live conversation, like live chat conversation?
Yeah.
Okay.
With all of these people. The one that's in France is someone I went to high school with.
Oh, okay. That's
and
even
like,
cooler.
Yeah, we went to high school. We were in a couple of theater shows, or a theater show together, and then I was in one that they came to see that was when it was performed. Like, this is a person that I know is a real person, and I'm not being catfished from France.
Very nice.
Yeah, okay, well, that's cool.
Yeah.
So that leads me to this. When you do go to France, I'm sure there'll be new things you'll experience. Not just like as far as like your sexual relationship with this person, but like new things there because it's a completely different country, different way of life. I think that's a really interesting thing for couples to do, to share those new experiences, whether it's something simple like going to eat at a different restaurant neither of you have been to, all the way to having new culture. And in that aspect, I think that's super important.
Clara, the one that's in France, is like got a list of like the French foods they like and want to prepare for me. So when I get over there, like it's a curated list of the foods they think that I'll like the most.
Speaking of food, how's your chocolate allergy vanishing going?
I'm still eating chocolate. Like I got chocolate chip cookies over here.
Yes.
It has not come back.
That's a life victory right there.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, I have to go. But I enjoyed this munch with you guys. And
It's a pleasure, my love.
just let me know whenever Kink 101 is a thing, and I'll creep back in here.
Absolutely.
Hopefully Alice will be wearing that same green dress. It'll be great.
Just because you said that, I'm going to make sure next Monday I've got that dress on.
Bet.
All
right, bye, y'all.
Bye. Good to see you now. Let's see. But yeah, like the new experience thing, I think that's going to be a really good thing to have. When I was in my French class in high school, all they did was made us ham and cheese sandwiches. I don't know how the fuck it was French, but it was good, so I can't complain.
I never took French in high school, and like I am learning that now, so I can be at least able to function in France when I go over there. But like I took 9 years of Spanish in school, and was basically kind of adopted by my Spanish teachers in high school.
Very nice.
So like there's a lot of like Spanish like foods and drinks and things I got to try through that, and I'm really excited to have that experience with Clara about French stuff.
That'll be cool.
Yeah, that is.
So
very
before you
fun.
go, though, I'm going to send you my address so you can pick me up some cool stuff. I'll send you the money, and then when you get back, smell it.
That might not happen.
I want like real chocolate. I don't want American chocolate. I want like real good shit.
That's on the list now that my chocolate allergy has disappeared. Is going
Listen,
to
this makes
like-
me think of. Sorry, this makes me think of like, why is food not a love language?
it is
I would like to
It
dispute
is.
it. I mean, yes, giving and gifts and
gifts,
acts of service.
It's all of them.
Okay, myth debunked. Very quickly.
But like with the chocolate allergy disappearing, according to Clara, there's like this fancy chocolate shop in like every mall over there that they want to take me to.
Ah,
You know, it's just
We're also going to Zamonia, which is this like the biggest kink store in France.
like that'd be fun.
that
How
sounds like
will
fun.
And what's cool is, I mean,
Oh.
if you'll now, are y'all gonna travel anywhere else, like outside of France, or?
no, like the point of this is to spend time with each other, not necessarily like go toury.
Right. Okay.
We have like a short list of activities that we might want to go do in different places in France, that most of which are a question mark if there's time in between all the fucking.
Right. Gotta get the priorities out of the way first.
Yeah.
Hey, do you know what I realized? Like a couple, like, I don't know, 45 minutes into Munch. We didn't introduce ourselves earlier.
We don't need any introduction. We're good.
We need to get better. Well, I mean, we're getting better.
To be
but
fair, Mr. did introduce himself as, quote, the ringleader of this shit show for now.
Until mutiny is staged. And you guys have some, and everybody has somebody that, or we have a cybersecurity person, so hacking into the account and knocking me out of it wouldn't be anything. So
I would never do such a thing because it's illegal.
I am prepared. I'm excited. Like I finally got performance bonuses. Of course, Facebook wants to give me that when I'm not getting much interaction. But
right, I got mine at the beginning of August, when my reach was the lowest it's been all year, and I've had like negative 90% engagement.
yeah, see, I think they're trying to incentivize, using it more and more and more. I've scheduled posts out for like 30 days. So like I've got shit that keeps posting and no one's interacting with it. So go fuck yourself, Facebook.
I should do that. Theoretically, like for my page, I should be making like horny eldritch memes, but that's so much work.
It is. And that's what I normally do here lately. I've been taking like a day, usually Tuesdays. I'll trim down the podcast stuff. So I started uploading it actually to Spotify. So, so it actually has that on there now. But most of the editing is just taking out the silence, the filler words, and some of the unneeded parts to it. I cut last week's Munch down to like an hour and like 16 minutes or something like that. But that'll help. So what was my point about saying that? Oh, yeah, Tuesdays. So I edit that usually in the morning. And then I'll go through and schedule a bunch of posts. And then by the afternoon, I've got the next month handled. And I just wait. But Facebook doesn't send me notifications. I've been going through my feed on my page and finding comments. I'm like, oh, you pieces of shit. All right. So, yeah, I'm excited about that. It's like Facebook knew I was getting tired of their shit. Like, oh, we're sorry. Here, have a bonus you'll never reach. It's the carrot. It's the dangling the carrot in front of me. We'll see how it works out, though.
Sometimes you get the carrot. Eventually, you're going to end up getting the stick.
Yeah, beat Facebook to death with my stick. They keep fucking around. Metaphorically, of course. I really, I think, oddly enough, we covered it all. About like reconnecting. I do have a debate that I always like to ask every now and then. I think I'm going to post it tomorrow on Facebook. But
okay,
what's the difference? What defines a boyfriend and girlfriend versus a friend? I never can get a straight answer.
Well, I can give you a queer answer.
Go ahead.
consent. Like if you have a friend who's like, I don't want to be like a committed thing, but we can hold hands and smooch if you want. That's still a friend. But if that same person would go, hey, I'm interested in you and I want this to be a romantic thing, then that person becomes girlfriend, boyfriend, partner, whatever.
So it's romance. That's the key. Now, not just consent, but like the romance aspect is what makes it different.
Not necessarily, because you could have something that's like queer platonic and they're still boyfriend, girlfriend, partner, whatever, but there's not that expectation of romance.
Okay, I like it. See, I like that question because I can ask anybody, and the answers vary so much.
Mhm.
And that's what I love about it the most is because it varies so much, it shows that we can still define it for ourselves.
Yeah, and that's how every relationship works, right? If you're someone like me who's obnoxiously horny and flirty with their friends, then you're going to have very horny relationships with your friends, and that might not work for other people.
Right.
It doesn't mean that I'm wrong for doing that. It doesn't mean they're wrong for it not working for them. It's just how they define their relationships.
Most often, the most common answer I get, though, is sex.
You get that from boring people who've never fucked their friends.
Right? That's what I tell them, too. Is like, you can fuck your friends.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's not the same. It's the same. It's sex. It's just, you know. So sex isn't the answer. That's the only answer I ever tell somebody that is wrong. I don't know. I can never define it. So anybody that watches this later, tell me what you
Feel
think
free to.
the difference is. And you can't use Alice's answer.
But my answer is the right one.
Feel free to paraphrase.
Yeah, paraphrase it, you know.
Show us that you were listening.
There you go. Oh, I picked up a book the other day, Python for Kids.
Ooh.
I was like, if anything can teach me Python, a kid's book can. So we're going to give that a shot. That'll be fun. I just happen to see it on my bed there.
Python is the simplest programming language I've worked with.
Is it? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, years ago, my best friend, Jesse, was like, you need to learn Python. I'm like, yeah, well, whatever. And now I'm just like, oh, I guess I need to learn Python. So,
especially if you're going to be doing a bunch of AI shit, you need to learn Python to work with that.
Sorry, it was a gnat. I just burned a gnat out of the air. Anti-aircraft.
Anti-air net?
Anti-air gnat. There you go. Got him too.
Oh, y'all.
Squirrel brained.
That was beautiful.
Like, that's like it, though. I think that's like, we covered just about everything. Have intimacy. Have good time. Communicate.
Communicate
Don't
what
be
you want and need.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, fuck. Any closing thoughts from you, Duff?
Yep. Don't be scared.
Don't be scared.
Don't be scared. And make that like a thing that you do from the gate. Is not be scared of what you have to say and how you feel. Because it is that. And maybe you can be persuaded or changed on how you feel or just start to feel differently, and that's okay. But I fizzled out, and yeah, I love y'all.
Don't be scared. Be authentic about what you want and what you need, and use people's reactions to filter out the people who aren't for you.
Yeah. Thank you. And I've got some awesome keychains I made. And
we got keychains.
ghost earrings. Aren't they incredible? They're so cute.
Ghost earrings.
I love that.
Purple and I have some what's that shape? A coffin? Pumpkins. Oh, where's the camera? There we go.
Here, do you want to put your earrings on that?
Ghost too. No, sir.
You want to put your earrings over that?
Nope, I've got them all hooked to the side over here. I have a system.
So this is STD, Rachel on the rise, protect your boo.
Very
Got
cute.
ghosts on it.
Very cute.
But closing thoughts. Do you have anything else, Alice?
No, I think the combined thought between me and Jen kind of covered it.
Yep.
That was a goodie.
Make sure that you openly communicate and take the time to breed better intimacy by having an honest and candid conversation.
We used one of our vocabulary words from last week.
Yeah, vocabulary words. Oh, man, and it's like 24 minutes from where we normally start. We've wrapped things up and
did
fucking ready to
good,
lay down and
and-
watch TV.
Get to sleep. Anyways, shower, all that good stuff. See you guys next Monday. We will be kink shaming everybody. Just kidding.
We will be kink shaming people with degradation and humiliation kinks only.
Yes.
And if you don't know what that is, tune in next Monday and we'll explain it to you. Because next week is all about Kink 101. Hopefully we'll lay some foundations, get some people interested in trying to explore themselves and what they like and what they don't like. And
Yep.
So I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
See y'all next Monday. Good night.
Okay.
See you next Monday. I'm gonna go bug New Jersey.